Welcome to this very specific niche video about a song that came out 2 years ago that I'm gonna just kind of analyze for fun. We're gonna be taking a deeper dive into the song King of My Heart by Taylor Swift. If you're wondering why I'm doing this 2 years after the Reputation album came out, I don't have an answer for you. I will say that I have my notes here on my iPad, and this is very embarrassing, but I literally just screenshotted the lyrics and wrote a bunch of notes like it's an English assignment for fun. I didn't even know I wanted to make a video. I was just very bored. So that's the way I choose to spend my time. I hope that you choose to spend your free time watching this and hopefully enjoying it. Obviously, I love her. I have a lot of respect for Taylor as a songwriter. I think she's very emotive in her word choice. So I'm gonna be looking at a lot of diction, which is word choice in this video. There's lots of imagery that helps set context and set a foundation for the listener. And I tend to look a lot at juxtaposition, which is setting things side by side for the purpose of comparison. As a quick disclaimer, obviously this is just my personal opinion. We can never know what Taylor meant by these lyrics, but we can only guess and assume. The first two lines of the first verse read, "I'm perfectly fine, I live on my own, I made up my mind, I'm better off being alone." The first thing that I want to do is kind of orient and ground ourselves here. Let's look at the title of the song and then compare it to the first two lines. The title of the song is King of My Heart. That's a very strong, bold statement. You don't make that remark flippantly. This isn't just a king of a kingdom. This is the king of your heart. That's emotional real estate. That's a big deal. Let's compare the title of the song to the first two lines. The first two lines seem very chill. Taylor seems very content. She seems very nonchalant about love right now. She's living her best life by herself. Okay, this is in stark contrast to the title of the song. Makes me wonder as a listener how this is going to get to the point where the song is called King of My Heart. Let's read further. "We met a few weeks ago, now you try on calling me baby like trying on clothes." She meets the guy. She meets a guy. It's very exciting. The phrase I want to focus on here, the diction, the word choice, is like trying on clothes. This is a very, again, chill, casual vibe or connotation. When you try on clothes, you're doing just that. You're trying, you're not buying. It's fun, it's bright, it's airy. You're trying on outrageous outfits at the mall, you're not gonna buy them. There's no commitment here. There is definitely a feeling of impermanence in these lyrics. Taylor's not convinced yet. There's a guy, he's calling her baby. She's still kind of like, no, I'm not in this yet. "So prove to me I'm your American queen and you move to me like I'm a Motown beat." So now we finally have what I'm going to refer to as a royal diction, okay? The song is called King of My Heart. Now we have the word queen, okay? She's identifying herself as the queen, which implies, in my opinion, that any partner has to be her equal, has to be a king. And when we think of kings in kind of more like a fairy tale idealistic manner, they're men with substance, they're men with character. I want to concentrate on the diction here. There's repetition of the phrase "to me." Prove to me, move to me. This situation that's being explained here suggests that Taylor is the one with the power in this dynamic right now. "To me" implies that he has to prove things to her. She's not invested yet. She's the Motown beat, he's the listener. He loves the song he's hearing, but she's still not convinced yet. There is definitely, in the power dynamic at this point in the relationship, Taylor kind of has the upper hand at the moment. "And we rule the kingdom inside my room, because all the boys in their expensive cars with their Range Rovers and their Jaguars never took me quite where you do." Okay, some more royal diction. We have a kingdom now. We have the word "we," so it went from "to me" to "we," and there's a kingdom. There is definitely more of a united front with the use of the words "we" and then "kingdom." I also want to look at the fact that the kingdom is inside her room. They're inside her room. They're probably just playing Scrabble, okay? Hashtag Scrabble Queen. However, this is in contrast to going out and about with cars. Just the reference to Range Rovers and Jaguars. Such a weird word to say, Jaguars. Jaguar. Anyways, there's two things I want to say about that. The first thing I want to compare is the fact that they're building an entire kingdom inside her room. That's a big deal. A kingdom is a vast thing. It takes a lot of effort to build it and to create it and to maintain it. And they have the ability in this relationship to build something that extravagant inside. They don't need to go out and about with a car. When you go outside, there's lots of distractions. Look at that building, look at that tree. When you're inside, you have to focus on what's going on inside. In this relationship that Taylor is describing, she has the ability with her partner to stay in and create something magical and beautiful and something of substance. She doesn't need to go out and be distracted from the relationship. Another thing that I want to comment on is the fact that she like name drops the cars. Like, I don't know if that's a thing, but these are luxury cars. This is also implying that she doesn't need material possessions and luxury in a relationship. The person has to be the luxury. And all at once you are the one I have been waiting for, king of my heart, body and soul. And all at once you are the one I'll never let you go, king of my heart, body and soul. She says an all at once. This is really cute. I really enjoy this verse, and I have like a very specific reaction to the phrase and all at once, and let me explain why. All at once without the and, okay? All at once is a very like whirlwind type of statement. All at once, all at once, all at once. It's kind of like giddy too. It's kind of like she had an epiphany at this moment, and she's like, all at once I realized that he's the one. Everything just clicked and it makes sense for me. However, the word and is very casual to me, okay? So, and also it's like a sentence fragment. This is not a complete statement. This is a sentence fragment. You remember in like elementary school when teachers would get mad at you and tell you never to start a word with and? But she purposefully made the phrase and all at once. This to me makes it seem more casual and more intimate and more vulnerable as well. Like, think about an example would be perhaps maybe with like your significant other, you're like, I love you. That's very intense. But when you say, oh yeah, and by the way, I love you, it's kind of more sweet, more intimate. The word and makes it seem more vulnerable to me, and it kind of makes it seem more legit in a way as well, because there's not a show about it. It's not like an all at once type of deal. It's like and all at once. It makes it seem like that statement has more validity, in my opinion. So that phrase to me is very beautiful, and it's very sweet and vulnerable. This verse kind of shows the whirlwind of this relationship, you know, when you know, and she had a moment where she realized that this guy has everything that she needs and everything that she's looking for. With Taylor, if you're familiar with her music, she has this habit in her writing, which I really enjoy actually, where she uses 3 words to describe feelings. So for instance, in her song Begin Again off of Red, she sings about a love that breaks and burns and ends. Later on in this song, I'm actually going to discuss another instance where she does that. Here, she's using, she's using heart, body, and soul. This is describing the type of love she has with this guy. Heart, emotional, body, physical in that kingdom, and then soul, more of a spiritual connection. So this guy is fulfilling all those facets of love for her. This verse is where we have more of an internal monologue by Taylor. She's letting us into her emotional state concerning this relationship. And all at once, I've been waiting, and all at once, you are the one I have been waiting, body and soul, and all at once. For this particular verse, I really recommend you go and you listen to it. I'm not an expert on how to craft a song melodically and sonically. I have no idea. All I'm gonna say is when I listen to this verse, the lyric and all at once is at the forefront. The lyrics I've been waiting are in the background. So when I hear this as a listener, I interpret that as the background vocals going on in the back of her mind. I've been waiting. In the back of her mind, she's been waiting for a guy like this. And then at the forefront of her mind is the sentiment and all at once. It's the whirlwind that's happening. So to me, this is again kind of a peek into her emotional and mental state. And if you listen to the verse, hopefully you'll understand what I mean. There's lots of thoughts going on. We often think about lots of things at the same time, and that's what it's signifying here to me. Another thing I want to mention when you listen to this verse is when it's sung, a lot of statements are standalone statements. And when something stands alone, you focus more on it, and it signifies there's lots of significance in that statement being made. When you listen to this to this verse, body and soul, that's kind of a standalone lyric. And again, that means it's significant. They have a connection, a physical connection, body, and more of like a spiritual connection as well with soul. And that suggests there's a lot of depth and substance to this relationship. The last line of this verse, and all at once, when you listen to this, please go listen to this so this makes sense. When you listen to this last line of this verse, there's a pause before she starts singing the next verse. I can't sing, but it's kind of like, and all at once. And then the next verse starts. That last line stands alone. She's really putting significance, and she's making you focus on that lyric because it matters. That's kind of like her thesis statement for this song. This happened all at once, but in the most beautiful way. It kind of reminds me of All Too Well, her song from Red. She repeats all too well multiple times throughout the song because that's the whole thesis statement. She remembered it too much, all too well. She sees the details too well. This is a similar thing that's going on here, in my opinion. And all at once, it all clicked all at once. That's a similar thing that's happening here, at least in my opinion. Let me know if you agree or disagree. In this next verse, we're getting more of kind of an intimate look into her thought process concerning this relationship, and there is a bit of imagery that I really enjoy. Late in the night, the city's asleep, your love is a secret I'm hoping, dreaming, dying to keep. Change my priorities, the taste of your lips is my idea of luxury. This is very cute. For me, when I read this, I imagine Taylor just sitting by a huge window in New York City looking out, dreaming about her, not dreaming, but thinking about her relationship with this guy, and she's just like, oh my god, this is great. In a very dramatic fashion, of course. This is a lyric where I mentioned earlier she uses the 3 words. Hoping, dreaming, dying to keep this relationship a secret. Because when something is a secret, it's safe. There's no outside influences involved. So this is a very vulnerable moment. It's late in the night. The city's asleep. She's the only thing stirring. She's the only thing awake and active right now, and she's in the safety and the cover of the night, in the safety of the darkness of the night. She hopes that her relationship will also remain safe and will also remain a secret. If you look at the 3 words, hoping, dreaming, dying, they increase in intensity. Hoping, you're hoping. Dreaming is a little bit more intense because there's kind of like an emotional attachment to dreaming, especially like daydreaming. It's taking over your mind. And then dying, there is desperation there at the end. She really wants this love and relationship to stay safe. She really, really does. And she's showing us that by the progression of the intensity of the diction of the word choice in this lyric. She is also letting us know that her priorities have shifted. This is when you know it's real, right? When your priorities are shifted and you're making that person your priority. And the last line of this verse is really, really adorable. And it's very significant because the idea of luxury has now been redefined in this song. Initially, luxury was defined by cars, Range Rovers, Jaguars. Okay, now his lips are the luxury. They're the ultimate luxury. So it's, again, showing us that this is a pure love, a love of substance, and she doesn't need cars. She doesn't need material possessions. The thing that has the most value in her life is her partner. That's a very sweet sentiment, and this is showing us the progression of the relationship, and it's showing us how Taylor is realizing that the guy she found is the guy that, you know, she wants to be with. He's the real deal. Okay. This is the last verse that I'm going to go through because it's the last unique verse. Every other verse in the song is repeated. This is the bridge. I'm so excited. Taylor Swift writes the best bridges, in my opinion. They're very much a thesis statement for the song. She is just the best architect ever. She should build all the bridges ever. I love this bridge. I'm just gonna confess really quick before I get into this. Sometimes when I'm bored and I'm like doodling things, I don't draw hearts. I don't draw like stars or flowers. I literally write the bridge to the song just randomly. Like I don't even think about it. It's kind of weird, but it's very much the truth. I hope I do this bridge justice. Let's go ahead and do my dramatic reading. I feel like I need glasses or something to like be legit. Is this the end of all the endings? My broken bones are mending with all these nights we're spending up on the roof with a schoolgirl crush, drinking beer out of plastic cups. Say you fancy me, not fancy stuff. Baby, all at once. This is enough. Just gonna let that sink in for a moment. Let's just feel it, the essence of our being. I'm gonna go listen to the song after I'm done with this. So yeah, the bridges to Taylor's songs are very intentional. They're the thesis statement for the song, and it lets the listener know why this song was even written in the first place. The first line, is this the end of all the endings, is very vulnerable and very sweet. This is Taylor thinking to herself, is this it? Is this the last ending? Is this the beginning that's just gonna last forever? It's a very hopeful sentiment, and it's very, again, vulnerable and sweet. The next one, the next lyric is my favorite. My broken bones are mending. There is actually 2 points I want to make about this. There is a poem that goes along with the Reputation album. It's in the album insert. I have it somewhere in my room. I don't know where it is right now, but I really suggest looking this up. This is also the same poem that she uses as a transition in her Reputation Stadium tour. You can watch it on Netflix. And I think it's the transition right before she sings Getaway Car. And it's kind of a longish poem, but in the poem she mentions that she fell and broke her bones on concrete, the same concrete that she drew on with chalk as a child, okay? Before the Reputation album came out, we know that Taylor went through a very hard time publicly and no one saw her for a year. So if we are to take that poem and apply the same metaphorical broken bones from that poem to this is signifying that this relationship has been very, very healing for Taylor and mending those metaphorical broken bones that were mentioned in that poem. I didn't know this. I didn't realize this till yesterday, which is ridiculous. But that's definitely a point that I want to make and put out there. The point that I was going to make initially, just as a listener listening to this song, is that breaking a bone is a very physical thing. It's a very tangible thing. If someone breaks a bone, you're like, whoa, dude, your bone's broken, okay? The fact that she's suggesting that this physical, issue is being healed by his emotional and like spiritual love is a very big deal. It shows you that the depth to which this relationship has been healing for Taylor, and it's a very big indicator of what a good guy she has. He is a king. With all these nights we're spending, this is kind of like a cheeky lyric. It's like, Taylor, what nights are you spending? You're kind of like, what? Again, this kind of alludes to the physical bond they have, but this lyric is proven innocent in the next line because it mentions that they are up on the roof hanging out and there's a schoolgirl crush. So it goes from being suggestive to being very innocent. And that suggests that there's lots of layers to this relationship. It's not just one thing. It's fun, it's seductive, but it's also just innocent and pure. It's joyful. Say you fancy me, not fancy stuff. I love the fact that she used fancy. Her boyfriend is English, he's British. So if you fancy someone, you have a crush on them, you like them, you think they're cute. And again, not fancy stuff. There is no luxury in material possessions. The luxury is in the person you're with and in that relationship and in your love. I love this. Baby, all at once, this is enough. The all at once here at the end of this bridge is a lot more calm and stable. Baby, all at once, this is enough. This is it. I feel like Taylor has really understood what she needs in a relationship. She perhaps realizes that the things she was looking for before, the things she prioritized, aren't the things that she needs, but rather the things that she thought she needed. This song is really about understanding what you want, understanding what you need, and it just gives us more of an insight into the progression of her current relationship, from being very nonchalant to realizing that this guy has everything she needs, and then being giddy and having a whirlwind feeling, and then finally just being very calm and stable. The very last lyric of this song is "and all at once." So this is showing us that this was a whirlwind romance, but it's not one of the baseless whirlwind romances. This is a whirlwind romance with a strong foundation that is built to last. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe for more. If you have any suggestions of songs you want me to take a deeper dive into, please leave them in the comments below and let me know what you thought. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you have any other additional comments about what you think this song means? Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.